Great, we're alive again. So I just want to take a little time here to reach out and let you guys get to know me a little bit better and what makes me tick and how we got to this point and why we have to do this. This must be done. Because what I don't want to see is for me to have spent a lifetime figuring out stuff and then it dies with me one day, or it can only reach the people who I can physically get my hands around their neck. So I think I could have something to offer for other people, even if they aren't able to be local. So if you're out there and you want to say hi, go ahead and you can do a chat if you want. And I'll take a second because this one is more informal. What we just were doing was recording. Man, I see that the table sure shakes. So see, we're just kind of hammering out some of the imperfections and stuff. But let's get to what I was going to say. So my goal at Power of Chiropractic is to leverage years of experience and education in order to deliver a certain quality of care that includes, being the most efficient possible. So what we want to do is if there's something that could be done very simply and quickly, then just do that. And even if it requires reinforcing or, doing it over and over, at least get to the simple answer that people need as quickly as possible so that they can start being better. So, my whole interest in this field came at an early age. So when I was about 12 years old in 6th grade, I started lifting weights and reading, workout magazines and stuff like that, and playing football and soccer and stuff. Well, obviously since before then, but I could tell from a young age that there's a lot in your life that you can control, that there's a lot in your life that you could do something about something if you want it to be better. If you're not happy or content, then do something about it. So, I saw that there's an imbalance in the way that health works, and there's a narrative that if you're discontent or unhappy with your health situation, that it's not something that you're a victim of, that you could do something proactive in order to make your situation better, whatever the issue was. So originally I went to Iowa State University and got my bachelor's degree in exercise science, where I graduated with honors in 1998. And from there I was like, there must be something more. Well, when I was in my undergrad, I did a honors thesis on sports psychology, or, just your mental outlook, positive mental outlook, and how that could help your physical performance. So we had some people do a basketball experiment where they shot some free throws, and then some of them just went on and never practiced again. And then we did it again. I forgot how long we waited, like is it a week or 2 weeks, a week? But, and then some of them went and practiced on their own. And then some of them just practiced in their mind on their own. So I gave them a script to read and go over the script, and then mentally visualize themselves making that free throw. And the people who actually practice in real life did the best. But I was hoping the study would show that even the people who just practiced mentally would improve as much as the people who practice physically. But it didn't quite work that well. Maybe it was too small of a study or something, but definitely the people who practiced mentally did better than people who didn't practice at all, at least. So the idea here is not that you should become the next great Michael Jordan just by thinking about it, but that you could think about it and do the physical practice and then be even better, which would have been a nice fourth group to put in that study. But it was just me and my undergrad, so forgive me. So after finishing with my traditional exercise science bachelor's degree, I went to acupuncture school and acupuncture and Chinese medicine school, so I could learn a new perspective and a different way of looking at it. Now, thank goodness at that time in 1998, the internet was much more free and open back then, and you could easily find and search and be able to get good information. Whereas what I'm saying nowadays is you'll search for something, especially in health, and come up with a medical narrative. So it's hard to get a narrative, a perspective that is within our way of thinking. So we'll get a medical doctor approved narrative of a holistic thing, and nowadays, and it's garbage information, because if you ask somebody who doesn't want to see how something could work, how it works, then they're not going to be able to give you a good answer, and it'll distract and mislead a lot of people. So, nowadays, I think they call it's like a snow job. So you search for an alternative or holistic topic, and then you get a snow job answer that just has obfuscation so that you can't get any real information out of it. And then it makes you, and then at the end it says, go visit your doctor and ask your doctor if something holistic is good for you. And the doctor has no training and education and doesn't know anything about it. And they might be totally a good person, but they know what they know, and they don't know what they don't know about that. And they'll keep you in the pharmaceuticals and surgery instead of, or they'll say, yeah, go ahead and try that. But in the back of their mind, they're like, wonder how long it's going to take for you to be back. So, I always knew there was something more to health. And what it is that in the medical scientific paradigm, there's no place for an innate healing intelligence. They don't leave a space in your prognosis or diagnosis for miracles. They don't leave a space for an unexplained healing. So, if they can't use the knowledge for profit, then the healthcare system providers attempt to dispose of the inconvenient truth through like this bit burning, this book burning, this way that they cover up the truth with the biased opinions that are meant to confuse people. And so therefore the mainstream narrative is basically not trustworthy. And there's a not so obvious establishment that is acting like they're friendly to the cause of our holistic and alternative ways of unconventional ways of addressing things. When in actuality, they are not supportive at all and actually destructive, which is their actual goal. So I know this is already getting long. Wow, 8 minutes, and I haven't even touched the surface. So I'm going to start another separate video. That way we just keep it simple. But what I want to do is expose you guys and show you some of the things that I've been working on over the last, it started back then in 1994 at Iowa State, but I want to show you some of the things that I've been working on over time. So I have this box full of cards, and every card has something on it. It's funny, this one came up. So for instance, you don't see that, right? No. So for instance, every card has a little nugget, something simple on it. It's funny, this one came up. So there's only 10 possible ways you could get sick. You could get an infectious disease, a genetic disease, a nutritional deficiency disease, a somatic mutation, or some kind of gene selection dysfunction. You could have, let's say, nutritional hormone dysfunction, allergies, autoimmune disease, ischemic cardiovascular disease, amyloid prion disease, and or maybe a oxidative stress like nitric oxide peroxynitrite cycle disease. So there's only 10 real possible ways to get sick. There's 10 possible things that could go wrong that'll mess you up. That's just one of these little nuggets. So just try to come together, find truth, things that you can do. Like, let's see. Oh, here is it about nutrition. Like I'm talking about, I have on each card just a little nugget. Like, sulfur compounds. Sulfur compounds would be found in onions and garlic and red onions. plus quercetin is there. Sulfur compounds are good for balancing liver enzymes, reducing cholesterol and triglycerides, improving your immune system, fighting infections. We have so many. Wow. What's the difference between vitamins and minerals? What are vitamins and minerals? What is it? The phytonutrients that you could have, a list of is interesting nutrients that people need. The philosophy of health. How do we develop our own philosophy? So what I want to do is give you information. I've kind of been collecting and gathering information for some time here. I have my journals full of all kinds of things that I've come across, little nuggets of information from maybe watching a movie or reading a book, or like what I'm going to do is bring this information together to make it easy for you to contemplate some aspects of what makes your personal health philosophy, so that we can be sure not to lose this idea. And it really all comes back to the power of chiropractic, being that there's a innate intelligence that lives inside your body that powers you, that was there since your creation and will be there maybe perhaps past your death. But that something is what I work with, and that you can work with it within yourself, because you are the number one healer for yourself. The only person who can really help you is yourself. And even if it starts with you getting help from someone else, it's going to have to still be you taking the first step and showing up and being there. And your positive thoughts and expectations would be a simple first step. Empower yourself to feel like you should, you could try and do something. Like you can be better. Whatever it is that's going on can be better. And there is something that you can do about it. And let's start doing it now. So I'll go ahead and stop here just for time. And thank you to YouTube for allowing, giving me a place to put all this. And we're going to keep building on this. And thank you to all the people, and share and comment and like and all that stuff if you like, if it's something valuable to you. Really comes down to something that you can only know from the inside. And there's nothing I could ever do to give this to you. But if I could just incite and ring true something inside of you, then maybe you could do something better to help yourself. So I'll sign off now. See you guys.